Hey, before we get into this video, if you like content like this, be sure to like, comment, subscribe so I can keep the content going and it can reach other people who may find this interesting as well. What's going on? Are y'all ready to talk about DL men again? Are y'all really ready to get back into the conversation? Because I gave y'all almost a year. I gave them almost a year. And it's just so much download content that we have to go back and discuss. Now, let me give a disclaimer in advance. I understand that some of these stories are not trending topics. This is not a news channel. All of the tea that I'm going to spill is still relevant towards the channel. So don't come in my comments saying, girl, this happened a year ago. Girl, this happened 9 months ago. Girl, this happened 6 months ago. We haven't done a video in almost a year. But I missed y'all. Let's do a brief discussion on a few athletes that were exposed within the last year of me not doing a video. Now, I do want to start off by saying this is all alleged. We do not know if this to be true. These are viral topics that we're discussing. So, we have to discuss 3 different athletes, 3 different NFL athletes that were allegedly exposed for being on the down low. Now, let's do a brief recap since we haven't done a video in a while. What is a down low man? A down low man is, particularly when we're talking about a black man who engages in homosexual activity, but portrays himself as heterosexual to the public. He does not let anyone know that he's attracted to men or whatever part of the LGBTQ he's attracted to. He typically engages in romantic relationships with women, and he typically keeps his escapades with men a secret. Down low is not to be confused with in the closet. Down low men have accepted that they are gay and are engaging in homosexual activities and having gay sex without wanting to be a part of the LGBTQ and acknowledge that part of their life. So now that we have discussed that and recapped that, boom. Now, let's recap what I said about athletes. If you remember the Downlow Athlete Volume 1, I talked about Dwight Howard. And when discussing athletes, I have to be very particular in what I say because I understand that in the black community, athletes and rappers are held to a higher standard than most black men. These are the role models that the young boys look up to. These are what the young boys aspire to be. If it's not an athlete, if it's not a rapper, then it's an entertainer. But typically, the athletes come first, the rappers come second, the entertainers come third. That's just kind of how it is in the black community. So with being an athlete, it does come with a lot of responsibility and a lot of expectations. And to the audience that being an athlete caters to, particularly in the black community, being gay is not something that's going to be accepted. So just keep that in mind when we discuss these topics. So topic number 1, Byron Murphy Jr. Byron Murphy Jr. is a defensive tackle for the Seattle Seahawks. In college, he played for the Texas Longhorns, and he was named Big 12 Defensive Lineman of the Year in 2023. Don't ask me what all that means, girl, but he's a football player. Damn, this man is 6 foot, 306 pounds. That's a big fella. He's so young. He's only 22 years old, and he has a fiance, so he is engaged. He was also a first-round draft pick, so that's pretty impressive. Obviously, he's a pretty good player. On July 24th of 2024, the Seattle Seahawks posted a clip of Byron Murphy and some other players walking to the field to get prepared for training. At the time, a transgender model responded to the post and exposed Byron Murphy. Her response, as I quote, Byron Murphy blocked me off him and his fiance's page because he owes me $15K. Maybe this will get his attention. He played games and played with the wrong one. At Seahawks, she added the Seahawks. He likes trans. Instead of paying, he want to go viral. Tag him, his fiance, and etc. And she posted some pictures with Byron. She posted some pictures allegedly of them having a conversation in the DMs from Instagram. From the looks of the picture, it was his official Instagram page. So this woman alleges that Byron Murphy seeked her out for a sexual service that she charged for. He agreed to pay her for the service. She provided the service, and he ran off on the plug. Now, if this is true, I think this is extremely unfortunate, and I do not... This is one of those occasions where I don't have any sympathy for a down low man getting outed, because my thing is, if you know that you're withholding a secret, hold your end of the bargain up. Like, this is how these girls pay for their life. This is how they finance their life. So if you agree to pay for it, pay for it. Like, it really doesn't have to be that difficult. And you have the money. You're an NFL first round draft pick. You have the money. You feel, because you're down low, you think you're masculine and you're straight presenting, and you think that you're what the girls want. You think that you're entitled to some free sex. She told you what it cost. Murphy's agent would later on come out to make a statement that his client was a victim of an extortion attempt from a text conversation that began and ended online. He says his client had no contact with this person. He said, "This blackmail scheme has targeted other young players in the league. We have notified the NFL, turned the matter over to the FBI. Anyone involved in this scheme will be prosecuted." So he had his agent come out and say that it was a bribery attempt, blackmail attempt. Who do y'all believe? Do y'all believe the trans model, or do y'all believe Byron Murphy Jr.? I believe the trans model, if you're asking my personal opinion. Keep in mind, that's my personal opinion. Again, this is all alleged. You seek that woman out for a service and you didn't pay for it. My thing is, the reason I have a little bit of compassion for you or a little bit of empathy is because you're only 22, and it seems like you've been playing sports your whole life. So you were kind of thrust into this lifestyle without kind of get to experience and explore and kind of understand who you are as a person. So I do have a little grace for you, and I'll give you a little bit of time. But you robbing this girl and not paying her for her services, you have the money, so I don't have no grace for that. You reap what you sow. Athlete number 2, Stephon Diggs. Stephon Marcin Diggs is a wide receiver in the NFL for the Houston Texans. So he plays for the Houston Texans, born in 1993. He's 31, around my age. Cute. So Stephon Diggs' story is a little intricate and interesting to me because he has a little bit of a reputation for being like a ladies' man. He has a reputation for, having some of the most beautiful women. I mean, which is not uncommon for the Downlow brother, but it's one of those stories that would shock the heterosexual community. Keep in mind, like I always say, the discretion that Downlow men have is only for the heterosexual community. They're only looking to be discreet to heterosexual men and women. They don't care about being discreet when it comes to the LGBTQ because they're just coming over here to have sex with us anyway. When I did my research on Stephon Diggs and looking at his fashion choices, just kind of paying attention to his mannerisms, and maybe it's just because I'm gay and it might be in my head, but I can kind of see the gay in your face. He kind of gives me a little, he could be a part of the LGBTQ community, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. But to me, it wouldn't be a shocker if he had any type of attraction to a man. So a few months ago, a big scandal was exposed that allegedly exposed Stephon Diggs as being a Downlow brother. Now, Chris Blake Griffith. So Chris Blake Griffith is a professional entertainment marketing manager. He is also a fashion designer and I believe a stylist. So obviously he does multiple things in the entertainment world, and he's well connected. So sometime last year, Cardi B and Offset were going through one of their relationship spats, and it was alleged that Cardi B was talking to Stephon Diggs. So he was trending, of course, at that time because his name came up in Cardi B and Offset's spar. So upon his name coming up, Chris Blake Griffith came out to speak his truth and tell his side of a story of an experience with Stephon Diggs. He alleges that Stephon Diggs drugged him and tried to have sex with him. Now, Chris Blake Griffith is a heterosexual man. Stephon Diggs is supposed to be a heterosexual man. I guess they were hanging out, doing some business. He alleges that Stephon drugged him and tried to have gay sex with him. He woke up, turned on the advances, escaped unscathed, but Stephon could not deal with the fact that Chris Blake Griffith now knew his secret and couldn't take the chance of Blake Griffith telling his secret to others. From that point on, Chris Blake Griffith alleges that The relationship was immediately salvaged. They grew distant. Everyone recognized the difference, and people started asking why they weren't as close as they once were. A few weeks later, Chris Blake Griffith alleges that he was attacked and robbed by Stephon Diggs' brother and some of his friends. He alleges that they set up or planned the attack and robbery to protect their brother's secret. So he's alleging that these guys came and attacked him and attempted to take his life so that his brother's secret would not be exposed. Ooh, y'all. This is very sensitive because we all know that down low men are willing to go extremely far to protect their secret. So I'll never throw that possibility out of the window that he wasn't coming to harm that boy so that his secret could not get out, or that he wouldn't have paid his brother and paid some other people to get rid of that boy or to silence him. It's not far-fetched. This is extremely unfortunate. And so it's crazy because it's like this story was viral for a few days and then it just kind of went away. Then it came back in early 2025 because Chris put up some more screenshots of him talking to Drake, basically having a conversation with Drake, alleging like Drake kind of knows that Stephon Diggs is on the down low and he kind of wants Drake to kind of co-sign him, and Drake is like, I don't want to be a part of that. And I can understand another man not wanting to be a part of another man's sexuality scandal. Like, hey, but it's more to come on that. I haven't heard any more about it. That will be to be continued. So the third athlete, Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Andrew Bell Sr. is a former NFL running back and current professional boxer. He's cute actually. I don't have a problem with Le'Veon Bell. I don't know anything about him, but obviously he used to play for the Baltimore Ravens and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So Le'Veon Bell's story is pretty quick. He was accused of flirting with a trans woman after an anti-trans statement, and he responded. So he went on an anti-trans rant on Twitter, which prompted a trans woman who he flirted with and had conversations with to expose him. So there was a post going viral on Twitter telling people to vote as if your daughter's or mother or wife was watching. Le'Veon Bell quoted the tweet with a post saying, "I don't want my daughter to have to compete or share a locker room with men." So the trans woman was offended and she responded to his tweet with a quote. She then called him out for being hypocritical, saying, "Spewing this rhetoric when you were just in my DMs, da-da-da-da." So, of course, he responded and said that he never slid in her DMs and saying that she lied and he was unaware that she was a man. He also then went on a little bit of an anti-trans rant to kind of solidify the fact that he has no interest in supporting trans. This story, could he have flirted with a trans woman? Yes. This is what I want to tell y'all. Just a quick story. There's this guy that I know from my hometown, and he likes trans women. He likes femboys. So we've kind of communicated back and forth for years. I met him when I moved back to my hometown for a little while. And what I realized about him is it's a very bipolar experience with trans attracted guys. When they're thinking with their penis and thinking sexually, they'll hype a trans woman up. They'll give her all the praises. They'll have nothing but good things to say about trans women. But it stops just at that. They don't think that trans women deserve to have rights. They don't feel like trans women should even be respected as women. They want to be able to have sex with you and for you to be beautiful and be this beautiful sex doll for them, but they don't want you to have any type of value. That's what I realized about a lot of trans attracted men. So he could very well still have flirted with you and still wanted to be sexual with you and still feel the same way. That's a download, brother, for you. But hey, let me know what you guys think about these stories. Like, comment, and subscribe. We have tons more to discuss. Videos coming soon.